We have you now, Renee!
Yup. Check and mate.
Rapid disarmament underway!
No. It's a trap!
New form of ZOC?
Bastard! That power just now. We misjudged. He transcends the shackles of time itself.
I get it. You pulled together multiple other selves from slightly different futures.
Deduced at first sight, Still, as astonishing as that may be.
5 minutes to grand reset.
I'm afraid it is time to take my leave. Do excuse me, Mr. President. These past 3 years were a most enriching experience. My condolences on what will become of your daughter, but know that it is entirely by her choice.
Hold on here. Don't tell me that you... No. That Agnes saw all this coming?
You should at least take the opportunity to give her your parting words. Till then...
July 12th, 2 p.m.
Mr. Kincaid.
Took you long enough.
As I suspected, 8 slots.
Are you certain about this, young lady?
Yes. I'm all prepped and ready.
Latoya, your work is about to pay off.
Calling in from Cray Hills, is she?
This is the result of your efforts as well, Dominique Kincaid. As for Agnes, you're fully aware of what this procedure entails? Your great-grandfather, Professor Epstein, provided this world with a failsafe for which there is no substitute. However, its primary function can only be performed by way of a certain factor that has been passed down to you from your mother. AD and those who call themselves vestiges serve as portents. They are beings who were never meant to appear in this age, proof that Zemuria's current space-time continuum has begun to fluctuate. Even so, there is a high probability that your father's plan to drive a blade into the heavens will end up proving a success. If that happens, all my tricks and schemes will end up pointless, and there will be no need for Professor Epstein's failsafe. And you, dear girl, will be spared from having to follow in the footsteps of Lilia and Sophie. Agnes, if I can make only one request, it's that you choose for the sake of what matters most to you, above all else.
Yes. Consider it done.
Just like her father. What choice does she have at this point?
I was touched by the truth about my mother and grandmother, by everything it meant to them. And today, the hopes they so dearly inherited have been placed in my care. I can't honestly say it's sunken in, the idea of doing this for the good of Zemuria's future, but doing it for the sake of those we love and cherish. That's a motivation I think every one of us shares.
Thank you. Truly.
I see that your mind is made up. Another set of heart-stopping scenes this go-around, wasn't it?
This go around. You've seen this many times then.
The church and the snakes. I'll warn you up front. Do not interfere.
Now. They've done little but sit on their hands and watch so far.
Indeed. Agnes, I have nothing but the utmost respect for your decision. The verdict against you, however, LaToya Hamilton, will not be overturned.
As is only natural.
Nina. Professor.
Well, for us, this is the part where the third phase really kicks into gear. Though I have to say, the build-up to the climax has never been quite so explosive.
Moreover, my obligations to the Professor were met. Since this also aligns with the Grandmaster's hopes, let us observe in full the extent of man's potential.
My word. I'm loath to leave a similar impression to your ilk, but so it goes. The presidential aide pulled quite a fast one. Although, I suppose I'm not one to talk.
Quite so. In light of your own secret correspondence with the Professor.
Something to do with Professor Epstein's place of origin, was it?
Oh.
Yes. He sought permission to be here in the event that these circumstances came to pass.
3 minutes to Grand Reset.
Hacking of Grand Reset via Octogenesis embedded in Trion Tower initiated. Compatible successor. Type Claudel. Please release Tuner Diva mode.
Type.
Right.
Type. Type? Is Agnes more something akin to Lapis, I wonder? Oh no, I forgot about that.
What's that light?
It feels warm, in a way, yet somehow sad at the same time. Even so, we have to keep on climbing. Isn't that right, Yume?
Yeah! I just know Agnes is up there!
Hello. Very glowy eyes. Definitely something with Mare that lingers.
Stop this, Agnes!
Dad.
Locating us posed little issue, I trust.
How many times do I have to tell you? You don't need to bear this burden! Think of what your mother did. Are you really going to go down the same path as her?
It isn't the same at all. So don't fret. Of course, I'm only ever making you fret. But please, let me shoulder just a bit of the weight.
Hey, what's the big idea here?
Van, Fairy, everyone.
Agnes, no! Whatever you're about to do, I'm against it all the way!
You love-struck dumbass! One rejection and this is how you take it? Just double down on seducing the old fart every day till you finally win him over!
You're seriously going there? It's true though, Agnes. Like it or not, he can't brush you off forever. And also, what the heck are you doing here, Nina?
More to the point, as co-workers and comrades, we cannot simply cast you aside.
That's right. You comforted me during my own similar struggles, remember? And Gran! Just what are you trying to accomplish here?
Even if it's for the sake of humanity's future, will you truly impose this in full on one girl?
It's a shame, Judith. I really did hope to tell you properly.
I managed to patch the others in. Yes, you need to think this over.
Yeah, seriously, Aggie. Anyone can tell you're about to do something crazy. Does it involve changing your entire being? Like when I was turned into Carmine Altera?
Except in this case, it'd be irreversible, wouldn't it?
Please reconsider, Agnes. There must be another way. There has to be.
This isn't like you, Agnes. Think about all the hardships you've overcome with them up till now.
True enough. Arkwright Solutions just wouldn't be the same without you around.
1 minute to grand reset.
Thank you. But I'm sorry. To Fairy. To Katja. To Nadia. Swin. And Lapis. I can't apologize enough. To Van and Ren. To Aaron. Risette. And Judith. And to Elaine. Bearguard. And Shizuna as well. For all the worry I've caused by keeping this to myself. I really am a rotten employee through and through. You're just going to have to fire me over it.
Sacking employees is something for the boss to decide. You don't get a say. And don't think I haven't realized why you came to me in your school uniform 2 days back.
Thought so.
It was on purpose to make you easier to turn down, so that nothing could stop you from biting this bullet.
Guilty as charged. Turns out, I really have gotten sneakier.
Grand reset in T-minus 30 seconds. 29.
Enough is enough! Just give this crap a rest, damn it!
What choice does she have? She doesn't, it's all gone.
24. 23. 21.
Lapis, though, pointing out how this is similar to what she went through, though. Does point towards what I was thinking with Mare.
19. 18.
Is this the heavens' turn?
Indeed. The inescapable fate of the world once steel has been subjugated. Settle accounts with the Black God and find the Tachi within you.
Wait.
Dear, oh dear. Would that this could have ended as merely a dream. Alas, there is nothing for it. Only our regrets to redress. 6.
Forgive us for placing this burden upon you all anew.
Elaine? No, wait. Didn't they mention, that the statue looked familiar? It does look like a bit like Elaine, so,
So pretty.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Grand reset. Activate. Regressing space-time to aftermath of Great Collapse. Setting time of year 0.
So we're going back to a previous save point, essentially.
executing short-term save and limited regression of Zemurian space-time.
The term save?
What is that? Huh?
How far back are we going, though? Just how far?
Hey! Yes!
Don't end there. I need to see. I need to see where we've ended up. Oh, are these going to be moments of raising? Oh, I swear, if they go through and like show us events from previous games as well that are just disappearing, I'll be like, what? Be like, oh, look what happened in Cold Steel, gone. Look what happened in Crossbow, gone. Look what happened in Sky, gone. So I'm definitely feeling we're on along the lines of like, she's the aspect that will change. The fact they reference that this is something Sophie has done before lines up with what I was thinking theory-wise. Sophie has done this before, and then maybe the world corrected it to make it look like she died. Is it going to be the same with Anya's? What's that going to do to Van, though? Because we know how important Anya's was to Van. Yeah, that aspect. It just depends how much he's going to potentially remember, if anything. Got that whole nostalgia aspect coming in that he's been having going on. I'm assuming at this point that Anya's is probably gonna whoa, it's just a lot. It's just a lot right now. What Lapis said, where it's like, is it similar to what I did? Is it similar to what I went through? If that happened with Sophie as well, she would be a kind of fairy that was around, right? Which would be Mare, potentially? So that could fit with what I'm thinking we're like, because Anya's been Mare on the next time through. Oh, there's so many questions of like, how's this gonna work now? What's gonna shift and change? It just depends what she changed. Because it's no point just going back to a previous save point. You have to make an adjustment somewhere. So I'm genuinely just like, oh, waiting. I'm waiting. Can't believe though that in Sky I noticed the unknown era though. That really clued me into quite a bit, didn't it? The unknown era artifacts being different to Preceptine calendar artifacts. I was like, wait a minute. And this is why it's important you do the rounds. It's all there. It's all there. Falcom. Damn you. Damn you. I'm gonna need a moment. I'm probably gonna need some time to just think about. Oh, Oh, it teared up.
Someday, sometime, it will all come back for you.
Van's final episode. Oh. Right then. So, this is me now, essentially a week later, because I felt like I needed that sit. So, we will be doing a theory, based on everything I've seen there and how I think about things. But first, we need to get the whole thoughts about the game. How did I feel about the game out the way? Like, we need to discuss that first, and then we'll get to, theories. I've got things going on in my head. You know how I am. Oh, it's racing. It's racing. It's been racing all week. Like, jeez. So, on the whole, I'd say that is probably one of the better Trails games that we've been through. Definitely one of the better ones. I won't put it up there as one of my top ones. Some elements of the story felt like they went downhill and up and down and then back up and then down again. If you look at Reen's route, for instance, I really absolutely loved that aspect where we're in Basel and we finally saw like the canopy. We saw through that telescope all the things we were like discovering there. That was a really interesting chapter. I really liked that. There was an element of like, we are moving towards something. We are going somewhere. This is leading somewhere. Then when we got over to Long Lie, I felt like it was a bit too short and the Yunka 5 fight felt almost lackluster. After everything we've heard about him, I expected the actual fight to be much more. Even the animation after the fight wasn't that much. When you compare it to Shizuna, her animation, that bit with Reen, was fantastic. Absolutely loved that. I had a similar feeling as well with Kevin's route, although there were still some interesting things going on in his third bit. It just didn't have the same oomph that the middle part did, his second part. It just didn't have that element where it's like, oh, now we're getting somewhere. It was interesting to travel back to Cray after the nuclear explosions happened. Like, yeah, that was definitely interesting. I was happy with that. Now, Van's route, though, that felt like it was just a retread of everything we've been through in Daybreak. Now, obviously, that was kind of the point, to go back through things once again. This is leading towards something. These elements are important. They were testing it previously and now they're unleashing it again in order to achieve their aims of destabilizing space-time in order to allow Anya's to do everything she just did. So yeah, it was ups and downs. It was like really great moments, but then really sort of, well, that's a bit disappointing moments. It's on the average, it's really good. Like I said, probably one of the better Trails games, but if they'd have nailed those other bits, it could have been the top one. It's, for me, it's not up there with like, say, Azure or Third. Those to me, they are really up there. And it's that Horizon's just, it's like, I'd say I'd put Daybreak above Horizon. And Daybreak's really good. Really good. Absolutely love Daybreak. But I'd put Horizon below it. Now, obviously, the ending is quite significant. The stuff we've had come together. The Falcom and I have been brewing since the start of the series. Because again, as I point out, the Era Unknown stuff. Spotted that when we went back through first chapter. Felt like it was going to be significant, because why would you label it different? I even checked the original FC version of Sky to see if it was there as well. It's like, yes. Like, okay, Falcom, you hid that in plain sight. You hid this little detail about there being time loops since the start of the series. You hid it. What else are they hiding? That's the question. These are the little things that make me excited when you pay attention to all these little details. There's stuff everywhere. What else have we missed that they're hiding? That's just there in plain sight. You could go read that and then it'll explain everything that's about to come in the next arc. It's that kind of thing. I feel like it's Falcom. They do this every time. There's stuff everywhere. This is why I love it. That's why I do the rounds. I can see all these little pieces, these breadcrumbs of things. And that's where the theories for me come from. Just looking at what they're saying, the little bits that you might just ignore and be like, it's nothing. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But like, I'm going to worry about it, Falcom. I'm going to worry about that. And what does that mean? Whoa! Makes me excited. You may have noticed, makes me very, very excited. Oh, I love this series. I love this. It's clearly the series is not for me. Remember that? Whew. Sorry, I'm getting very excited. But yeah, this is why I need to do a tier ranking of the games, really, to see where I feel now we've caught up with everything. And it is a case of, I feel this would go in sort of, if we're saying we're having an S, A, B, C, D, I'd probably put this either a high B, even though that doesn't make sense, a high B or an A. It's not like it's super bad or anything. It's like, no, it's really, really good. It's really good. Gameplay was really good. I liked working with all the shards and everything we got going on now. There wasn't too many characters, which has been a thing in the past that's been an issue, as we know. But with Reverie, they even made a joke about how many characters there were in that. Like, that wasn't an issue. Like, they were split up nicely between the three groups. That felt good. That felt correct. It just feels, especially after Daybreak 2, it feels par for the course. It feels correct. It just feels like the next part of this ongoing series. It's like, you know the level of quality you've got. They've maintained the level of quality. Where Daybreak 2 felt like it went down, this is back to what we should be at. That's what I feel we're at. We're like, yeah, we're back on course. We're back on course. We're getting there. We're like, yes. This is what we want to see. Fantastic. Thank you, Falcom. So I think you get my thoughts on the game from that. You get the general idea. So time has come for theory. We're going to cover the little ones first. It's not going to be as in-depth as the 14 questions, because a lot of those 14 questions have been answered and it's like, oh yeah, you were generally right. Like, all right, okay. But it's more a case of like, right, now I've seen how everything is. How does it all come together? But first we need to get a few little ones out of the way. So first up, what do I think is going on with the vestiges? What are they? Who are they is probably more accurate at this point, I'd say. Now, other than the ones that we know already, I think there's still the potential for that one Fairy feels weird with to actually be a future version of Fairy in some regard. I do feel like that's where that's going. Obviously, we got the Almata members around. You could just tell based on their armors and stuff like that. It's just like, yeah, you can tell. But then I also think it's the three revolutionaries that are remaining. The ones clad in white that we saw on the Hamilton stuff, on the Kevin's route. The ones we saw there. It's like, yeah. Especially because of that sword. We've seen that sword before. We saw it during the rehearsals with Nina. That's what I feel is going on there. It's like she's brought those three back using the altar cores, maybe even the Genesis in some regard. But yeah, that's what's going on with them. They're back there. Then I had to question myself on what do I think is going on with the statue situation with Kevin. Now I feel it's a case of this is going to be a statue that is going to be found in whatever comes next. Like, sure, Kevin and Thomas found that statue previously, but I don't think it's going to be the same one. So I've had feelings of like, maybe it could be the same one, maybe there's something going on there, maybe they swapped places in time. Like, no. I had all these other thoughts, like, no. I've refined my thoughts to thinking this is just a repeat situation. This is a situation that's happened previously, and that timeline got erased. It could have been timeline 18,000, where we're on 19,999. And that one was 18,000. They got to a similar result, ended up at Excalibur becoming a statue. That's it. That was the end of their timeline. They didn't have the Anya's event. That's where I'm feeling there. It's like that was it for them. They were reset. Grand reset happened to them. Went back to year zero. That was ages ago. Whereas I actually feel now, this statue we got that's appeared in the Cray Hills, it's going to be found again. And I feel it's going to be a case of, probably with Kevin, I feel like in Horizon 2 or whatever it'll be called, Kevin will find it, be like, wait, and have a trigger in his memory of like, oh, wait, I know what's going on now, and remember certain events that have happened and know how to act accordingly. That's what I feel there. I feel there's going to be little moments throughout for that. That's what I feel like. There's going to be little elements in the next game where people are going to remember what happened. Otherwise, how do you go forward? How do you go forward from there? How do you go forward? So they're the little two things I feel are separate to my main one. I don't know how they tie into the main theory I've got in my head right now. Because my main theory just ties up all the Anya stuff, the Mare stuff, the Genesis stuff, the Loop stuff. All the other elements come together, I feel, in this point of how I think the next game is going to play out. I think it's going to be a case of, it'll start off similar to Daybreak 1, but no Anya. So you got to think Van is going to be a different character. He's going to be a different person. His character development has gone. That we've seen is gone. It's not going to be gone forever. It's not like, oh, well, it was pointless to play all them, wasn't it? Like, no. It's going to be a case of something will remind him. Something will remind him. Like I pointed out, the whole nostalgia scenes we've seen in Horizon, where he's pointed out, like, yeah, this is a familiar feeling. I feel like this is pointing towards stuff that has happened previously. So, as I pointed out previously, the idea that Mare could potentially be in some way Sophie. I feel that ties to something else. What I feel has happened is Sophie's timeline, where she was alive, was actually Cold Steel 4's normal ending. I think it's a world or a timeline. It's that sort of thing. Like you're gonna have to like figure it. It's like we've got loops and timelines. I think that's how we're gonna have to do it. So you got like Novartis is from loop 19998, whereas what I'm talking about is a previous timeline in 19999. Let's do 98 and 99 just so it makes it easier. We don't have to have the 1999. No. Loads of nines. But yeah, we don't have to have that. 98 and 99. So Novartis is from the loop 98. We're playing 99. But we've done different timelines in 99. Say, for instance, what we played at the start of 0, which was before Kia made any changes. That is a previous iteration of 99. But it's not 98, it's not a previous one, it's just a previous iteration of 99. It's a variation upon 99. The whole idea of what we had in Daybreak 2, the idea of going back to save points, just going back a little bit and then changing things, go back a bit, change things. That's still on 99. It's like you can still have little differences in timelines on 99. So that's what I feel has happened is the previous iteration of 99, like the major iteration of 99, Sophie was alive and Steel did come about. What we saw in Cold Steel 4, the normal ending before we changed things, that's what happened. But that gave the world 50 more years, or thereabouts, 50 more years. And I feel like that's the timeline that Reset is from. It ended badly and it was going to be a grand reset. And Sophie did something, probably what Anya's did, in order to take it back quite a bit. But as a result of that caused a divergence that allowed what we saw in the good ending, if you want to call it that, of Cold Steel 4, like the route we followed there. And then obviously that theory of that's where Mare came from. It's a different version of Sophie. Now, what leads me to believe that kind of theory is right, that Sophie became the fairy that is Mare, is Lapis's point towards Anya's and the whole idea of it being a Claudel type. There's some kind of artificial construct aspect going on to this. Maybe Anya's grandmother was artificial, similar to Lapis, and then like preceding generations after that were actually just normal, like flesh and blood people. Like Sophie was very much born, and then Sophie did give birth to Anya's. I feel like that's still an aspect to it. But there's some leeway there because Grandma wasn't around for Anya's birth, so it just depends. Like there's some leeway there, but I do feel at the moment it is just a case of, yeah, Anya's grandmother became human enough that then she could have children, and she had Sophie and all that type of stuff. But there's still a Claudel type as a result due to the genetics of it all, which then allows them to go into some kind of transformation, as we saw, which can then result in them becoming a fairy type of transformation of some sort, like we saw with Lapis. Essentially, the body is gone, but the soul is still around. So Mare, to me, right now, makes most sense to be Sophie. But that does actually change up one other theory, where I'm now thinking, well, who is the Holy Beast of Time then? I'm going to correct myself and see it as two possible options for what young Kafai is now. It could be both of these, actually. I still go with the idea like he could just be an Angui, he could be a member of Ouroboros, or he is the Holy Beast of Time. But it could be the Holy Beast of Time who is an Angui. There's no reason that can't happen. It's possible. It's possible. So it's like, that's where I'm putting my thoughts in, where the Holy Beast of Time is now. Anyway, get distracted with other thoughts. So, what this all leads towards is what I think is going to happen then. Because of the idea that they had more time in the world because steel existed. Why did the sin value not go up? Why did it reduce? Why did they get more time before the Grand Reset? Why is steel important? Is the question in all that. I feel it's integral to where everything's going. I feel the fact we saw Ishmelga up there is massively important. It's a carryover from a previous iteration of the timeline that's going to be important. So, putting all these little pieces together that I brought up there, where I think I'm going with this is, as I said, it's going to be a case of Van's not going to have his character development that we've seen. He's going to have some kind of realization, probably from nostalgia and stuff like that. He's going to try and gather everyone up again, make them realize everything that's happened, get everyone on board. I think that'll be fairly quick. That be like an Act 1 kind of thing. Like, we'll get everyone fairly quickly. Some people might realize independently, be like, right, we'll come together. We need to sort this out. This realization, like, oh my god, Anya's did something. We need to do something. What can we do? We need to get together. I feel like all the character development's going to be important that we've already seen. It's all going to come together. It's like, that's not going to be something we've missed. No. And then it's a case of, well, what do we do? And I feel that's when Van's going to potentially notice Mare is different in this timeline. And the Mare that is there that time, which connects to the House of Valis, Marduk, all that section of stuff going on, that is going to have resulted in a different version of Mare, which is Anya's. Her soul has survived. It has transformed into an energy shard type transformation. I don't know what you call it. Just fairy. She's a fairy type now. Simple as that. So she's still going to be around. And potentially that's the reason Mare couldn't say anything. I mean, we had that sort of like almost, when you think about it, when we were in the garden, Mare had this almost sorrowful goodbye that was kind of not really paid attention to by the group. They didn't see that. I noticed it because I've rewatched some of the scenes. I noticed it was that when she brought in Yorda, there was like it's almost like a kind of like, this is the last time you'll ever see me kind of tone to everything. I might have been reading too much into it, but I did get that feeling. So yeah, in Horizon 2, there'll be a Mare that'll be Anya's. And as a result from there, she'll have information on what to do, I feel. Because now these guys are aware of everything that they've gone through. Those blocked words that we had with Sophie Mare, as we'll call her, they're not going to be blocked anymore. They're going to be aware of things. They're going to understand the words that she's saying. Be like, right, okay, we know what to do now. We know what you're telling us. We've got all the pieces in place. We have the knowledge. We have this now to know what's going on. And what I think is going on is, again, coming back to steel. And its relation to Legion's chest. Because I think the Shizuna bit, where it was like they put it out like, oh, there's one of the 7 treasures, Legion's chest, the one that governs time. And Shizuna was like, it's more of a box, but yeah, whatever. I feel that's actually Falcom dropping a hint. I don't think Legion's chest is actually the big box. I think that's just a big box. Now, I think the Septarian of Time is in the box. Like, yeah, Septarian of Time definitely in there. I think the sphere that we saw is the Septarian of Time. But the armor around it isn't Leon's chest with that story we were told about Leviathan and it being this weapon that could pierce the heavens and all that type of stuff. Like, yeah, we were told about these things. But if we relate it to the actual... it was a poem, wasn't it? It's a poem. So, for those who don't know, Legion is basically... I'm probably saying that completely wrong, just so you know. But that is a nickname for Loki, if you didn't know. So, it's the idea of the Septarian of Time is Loki's chest? No. Now, Loki is a trickster god. You may know that. But one thing you may not know, I think it was I know one aspect of it, but I'm trying to remember the other bit. It's Loki is the god of knots, specifically loops. It's the god of loops. Yeah. So taking that into account, I think the box that they think is Leon's Loki's chest, that isn't that. That isn't that. Because the whole idea is the chest is where this sword. This is within the actual the poem. Like the sword that's meant to be able to like pierce the heavens and all that type of stuff is meant to be inside the chest. Now, the Septarian of Time is keeping an area locked away, right? I think the actual chest, Loki's chest, Leon's chest, is Zumeria. That's the actual chest. Again, I think it's wrong for them to equate them together. I think they've mixed it up in what they're saying. Not Falcom, by the way. Falcom know exactly what they're doing. I mean Gramhart. I mean everyone working on this project. They've mixed up and named things wrongly because they've misinterpreted certain things. I don't think the big box is the chest. I think it's just a big box. It's the armor that surrounds it. It's the Septarian of Time being surrounded by a protective box. Simple as that. But Leon's chest, where the weapon, Leviton, is Zumeria. So then the question is, okay, so where is the weapon? What is the weapon? That's what I think steel is. I think that's the weapon. That's Leviton. Because there's a whole idea of, with Leviton, and again, this is with using the actual Norse poem. Again, I think it was a poem, wasn't it? But anyway, the idea was the sword was fastened behind 9 locks. So what I'm thinking is, it is a case of it is going to be these 9 locks, but it's currently only got the Divine Knights that are 7. It needs these extra connections from this next iteration of the timeline on 9-9. These iterations of the timeline are giving these guys the advantage. Now, the reason I'm thinking this aspect of like we need to get steel, the one that's up there, the one that I've said for so long is from the normal ending of Cold Steel 4, from the previous iteration of 9-9, we need to get that version of steel because it's still around, as I kept pointing out for so long. It's still up there. We can get that one. But in order to take control of whatever it is, Ishmelga in some regard, we're going to need people who can control it. It's going to need Reen and Crow. So that's the 7 plus the 2. That is 9. Basic maths, that. Now, the reason I am thinking all this is because of that aspect of steel pushes back the Grand Reset deadline. It is a requirement of whatever is trying to be achieved by the Septarian of Time. It's clearly like it's valuing something. It's taking into account certain things to assign this value. It's trying to achieve an aim. What is the aim? That is the question. And whatever it is, steel is important for that. Steel is definitely important. Otherwise, why would it give them more time? Because steel appeared. It needs to be, it's a factor in it. It's like, okay, you achieve steel. To do what with it? That's the question. To do what? That's where I feel it's going to go. We're going to need steel. Now, again, coming back to the original poem, which I think is a poem. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong there. There is the aspect of, it states that the weapon is in the chest with Sinmora, which she has different variations on her name, because you can have Sinmera, I think is another variation on that. Sinmera has connections to nightmares. Yeah. Sinmera is mare. Whatever version of mare it is. It's like you need steel and mare. I feel these two aspects are important to come together. I think we are heading to another situation where we're going to make a Sword of the End, but it's going to be with mare. We've seen it before with Milliam, but it's going to be mare. It's going to be the Anya's version of mare. So then a new Sword of the End will be Leviton. That's what I'm thinking. We're going to forge a new sword. That's going to be Van's and Reen's roots in some regard in the next game, is The realization of everything that's going on Van's route, bringing everyone together, be like, what do we do? Then understanding what Mare is, Mare being Anya's. That's their route. Then I think on Reen's route, it's going to be a case of them figuring out what's going on again, the idea of facing Ishmelga. I feel that's going to be that aspect. So it's like, that's what I feel like their two routes are going to be. And then it's like their routes are going to combine because you need Mare and you need the two people who currently are around that have properly interacted with Divine Knights, who still have some connection to their Divine Knights in some regard, to be the two final locks to be able to get Laverton, which is steel. Meanwhile, on Kevin's route, that is going to be all about the statue, I feel. It's going to be that realization of the statue. And maybe seeing if Hermes is actually alive. Because we know the statue in the past is hollow, but maybe that was due to passage of time, unfortunately. Maybe that's a different case here, because we don't know exactly what happened with Excalibur. There was just a flash, and then there was a statue. There could have been something that happened with everything going on at that moment that could change things. Maybe she's still alive in the statue in some regard. Maybe some kind of life support. Maybe she can get out. She could just be dead, you know. But there is some leeway there. We have to keep an eye on it. So it's like the Kevin idea, I'm not sure on where that could fit in my theories right now. I just feel like there's some element of that. Maybe it's using Excalibur to get up to the Ishmelga that's there, left over from the normal ending of Cold Steel 4. Maybe. So that's where I feel like the three routes are coming together. Now, the question then becomes, why? And that's where it's like, I still need more time. Why do we need steel? Why would we need Laverton? I don't think it is to destroy time. I don't feel like the end result is going to be, oh, we destroy the Septarian of Time. I don't feel like that's what Laverton's for. I think it's for something else. I don't know what else, because the actual story of Laverton involves a bird atop the world tree. I'm not sure what that could be relating to at this point. Or it's a bird on top of a bird, if I remember correctly, actually. The only thing I could think is like that somehow relates to wind, but I've not got much else to go on at this point. Not much else to go on. So yeah, that when I combine all my thoughts, all my theories that I've had previously together, that's what I come away with. The Van's route is going to be realization, understanding what Mare is, bringing Mare over to Reen's group, and Reen's group have had, again, an understanding of what's going on, and they realize they have to take out Ishmelga, which is up outside what is actually the chest, which is Zumeria. Maybe getting there is involving, like I said, Kevin's route and obtaining Excalibur as a means to get up there so we can then face off against Ishmelga, steal, obtain it, and then we have the weapon, Laverton. Then we have the actual Laverton that can then take out potentially something else. Again, I don't feel like the idea is to defeat time. I feel the end goal is we're going to achieve ending the resets. Whatever sin value is required to end the grand resets. I feel that's going to be achieved because I feel that's important. I feel like that's the key thing there, is that's the bigger point of it all. Like, what is it calculating? Because again, it goes back to that point of like, how do you defeat something that can predict everything and then undo everything? It's in control of time. We've seen what happened when they tried to nuke it. It's not going to be a case of we have to destroy it. We have to fulfill its requirements. And one of those requirements is steel. And I feel that's going to be the focus, at least for a major part of the next game. So, hopefully that all made sense. It's a bit rambly, but there's still a lot of if, but, maybes, and if that, and if this. But I think you got the general idea of what I'm going for there. But please do feel free to share your theories. We're all caught up now with the localizations as well. Like, there is no more trails. We are actually going to go to Niuta, obviously, because we need to go explore that now, based on where we are with this. Like, having all this knowledge, go look at what's happening in Niuta. Boundless trails? Like, we gotta go see what's going on there now. Gotta analyze it with all this information we currently have. We got to do that. But I will say it's good to hear other people's theories as well, because this thing is like these are the things I've put together. Other people's theories are just as interesting, just as fascinating. I love to hear them. Love to hear them. Like, thank you to everyone over on Discord as well, where we've been having theories back and forth and sharing ideas back and forth there. It's like, yeah, I absolutely love that aspect of it. Like, there's so many different possibilities of where this could go, but that's my take on it currently. We'll see though, because this is the thing. I could sit with this for another month and then come away with another theory, and then another, and then another. Just there's so much going on here. So fascinating, so interesting. Love this series. You may have noticed. Absolutely love this series. So yeah, like I said, leave any comments down below with theories. I'd love to hear more different theories, different ideas. Spin off mine, add yours to mine, see if like you've noticed something that I haven't. We could get something forming here. Like, I may come back with another video, like I said, in a month, and be like, aha, I've got this theory now. There's entire possibilities out there. It's like, yeah, I want to hear people's thoughts on what I've said, on what you've got, because nothing is invalid at this point, I'd say. Because it's not even the case of what I've said is like, oh, that's clearly what's going to happen. No. It may not happen at all. Maybe completely wrong on all that. It's completely wrong on all that. Easily. But that's what I feel it's heading towards right now, based purely on the actual poem, where these names come from. That's pretty much it. It's based on that. Is where I'm going with all that. So yeah, theories. Let's get them going. I want to hear them. Very exciting time. Oh, this ending was great. That could be a video as well, as the like tier list of endings. Because like, sure, you got a tier list of games, tier list of endings. That could be one as well, couldn't it? I think this is up there. Like I said, like the game was up and down, but this ending, and it's a case of, I wouldn't even call it a cliffhanger. It's got a definitive end. It's like, yeah, there you go, mini reset, done. Also, thank you to the people who did notice what I was doing with that video, the joke video I put out where it's like, don't skip a scene in Trails. I thought of that based on other ones I'd seen. I was like, wait. If you skipped at that point, you skip the grand reset, or well, the mini reset, and you'd go back to the start, wouldn't you? So it's like, I put that video out like, thank you for the people that got it. I was worried that people wouldn't understand the joke there. We're like, no, people got it. People got the joke. So I was like, thank you very much for that. I was like, oh, thank you. People got the joke. Poof. I was worried. So, right. Whew. Exciting times. So, coming up, channel. Because we're finishing up with Beyond the Horizon. So, coming up in the future, obviously, Nayuta. That'll follow on from Disgaea 7 in the catch-up slot. Like, that'll be over there. But, following up to this, we're actually going to go back to an Idea Factory game. Calamity Angels. Special Delivery. Yes. I was planning that anyway, as the next one we went to. But it feels especially poignant we should go back to like Idea Factory stuff for a little while because of the new Neptunia that was announced. Like, wow, new mainline Neptunia. All right then, we'll have a look at that, obviously. Yeah, that's coming up in future as well. And obviously in future we've got Trails in the Sky, second chapter. Definitely going into that with a questioning mind, keep an eye on things. Could be something potentially we could get from that. I don't mean in the case of like, oh, maybe we'll find something about time loops in there or something like that. Like, no. Think what we discovered when we went through first chapter. When we went to the museum and I noticed the Era Unknown artifacts, which were different to pre-Septine calendar artifacts. I noticed that. And then that was like, hold on. What else could I notice? Now I know all this. What else could I notice? That's there, that's been in broad daylight this entire time and we never took in. It could be there. There could be something right there. So we need to, pay attention to everything. That's what we're going to do. Pay attention to everything. See what we're going to find. There could be something. It'd just be fun to go for it again anyway. Second chapter's a great story. Meet Ren for the first time, don't we? When you think about it, like, yeah, that'll be interesting. Knowing where she is now in this game, going back to the start. Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting itself. Other than that, we got loads of other things planned throughout this year with different games. We've got loads of Dragon Quest coming as well, because I like Dragon Quest 7, so we've got loads of Dragon Quest coming out on the channel. Next one will be 11. because I've been recommended that, and that seems to be the timeline I should follow. Is 11/3/12? I think that was it. I think the timeline of things. Do also need to see about finishing up Sword Art Online Last Recollection, finally, because there's that new Sword Art Online coming out at some point in the future. I do need to look at that. Honkai Star Rail I need to get back to. I need to finish up Honkai Impact 3rd, what we're doing there. Got some Genshin. There's loads of stuff. There's loads of stuff coming out throughout this year that we need to get on and get done. There just is. There just is. Oh, I'm still excited from that ending. Like, every time I go back and watch it and just like reanalyze things, it's, oh, that is a good ending. That was a damn good ending. And I have this element of, even though I was upset when Anya's vanished at the end there, I still don't feel like she's gone. Like I said, she's going to be the new mayor. She's going to be the new mayor. If anything, we should feel sorry within my theories. It's going to be upsetting because the previous mayor's gone. We're like, oh, Sophie mayor's gone. Now we've got Anya's mayor. Like, oh, there may be a way to get her back or something like that. Again, that's all my theories right now. So, that's just going to be done for this part. And this entire Let's Play. And we're caught up with the series now, really. Just got to wait for Horizon 2, whatever it be called in future. Like I said, we've still got some other Trails games coming. We're going to look at Ys as well at some point. But I'll go through all those Ys games. Got to get through them as well. Got to get through them. So, I think it's time for me to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Like the amount of theories, some of the theories I've had since Trails in the Sky FC been confirmed. Firmament was one I had for ages. I had that for so long, and it was like, oh, I was right. I was right. I'm so happy with that one. So happy. That out of everything, that's the one that I'm like, yes, I was right. Because it's just built loads of ideas around that idea. Oh, yes. Anyway, very exciting times. Very exciting. Thank you very much for watching. As I always say, please, if you can, consider donating blood. We shall see you in more Trails videos in the future, other videos on the channel. I've got other ideas coming with like reading out the books as well. Yep. I got things planned with that. I'm thinking something along the lines of what we did with some of the drama CDs and Cold Steels. Like, you remember when I did them? Something along those lines. Like, especially because it's like Sunshine Anya's. Very significant. I can record Anchorville now. So, you know, that's going to work out nicely for me, isn't it? It's like I can record Anchorville and use that as background images and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for any theories you put down below. Will be much appreciated. Thank you for everyone on Discord with all the theories. All the backs and forths. Oh, love this series. Love this series. Thank you very much, everyone. We shall see you around in the future. Wherever. Whenever. Ta-ta. For now.